Hi, this is Shar with Law for Love, and thank you for joining me for today's Wednesday Wisdom. I have recently been through a firestorm of just life testing, even correction, even recognizing things that I needed to do better. And in that process, I made a mistake. I made a big mistake, and it hurt. It hurt my husband. It hurt my husband, and I had to own that, and I had to apologize. And I want to speak to the ladies today about this because it's something that I'm learning. And, I realize that the things that I go through, it's not for me. The things that I go through is for other people who are going to encounter that same situation down the road and who need to know you're not by yourself. And there is a wisdom on how to interpret the situation so that you can adjust course and you can be great. So here it is. What normally happens in my relationship is that my husband, he can share his feelings, but if his sharing his feelings hurt my feelings, then I want my feelings to be the last, I want my feelings to be the last on the record. And let me tell you something, ladies, especially in light of the fact that men often don't feel like there's a safe space to just say, hey, look, I didn't like that. I didn't like the way that made me feel. Us coming in and making sure that we get the last slam dunk on who hurt whose feelings, it's just not an honoring way to communicate to your man that he's important to you, that you honor him, and that you desire him to feel safe with you. And I had to learn that. And so, I was on my way to go about my business. And in the process, he hit me with a whole little, hey, by the way, this is how I'm thinking about the situation. And I didn't feel like it was fair. Like, I didn't like it. But in light of the fact that I'm the one who did wrong, and he's still unpacking the way that hurt him, it was better for me to just let his feelings stand without saying anything in response. Like, even though the way he went about expressing his feelings, it wasn't disrespectful, but he said some things that was kind of like, it was kind of like, I didn't like that you said this about it. But at the same time, he's still unpacking his feelings. And when your man is still unpacking his feelings after you did wrong, because we all do wrong, it's wrong on both sides of every relationship. So when he's still unpacking, just let him unpack. Let him go ahead and just leave that there without coming back and saying, well, I feel no. Unconditional love doesn't always feel like love. Unconditional love is not always going to feel good. And sometimes to show unconditional love, we have to be on the side that's getting corrected. We have to be on the side that's taking the L, so that in doing so, the other person's feelings are validated, especially when you're talking about a man. You're talking about your man, he's still unpacking his feelings. Now, should he continue to be like reliving and rehashing for the next, 5 months? Listen, that's something you might need to work out with some help with a coach. But, this thing is fresh. You still within the same month that it happened. He's still thinking of, how he's processing it. Let him do that and just leave your peace. Because in doing that, you're communicating to him that it's safe for him. His feelings are safe with you. And you're also communicating to him that honor for the fact that I was wrong. So you just go ahead and be wrong. And that doesn't mean that he gets to walk over you. That doesn't mean that he gets to treat you any kind of way. He don't get to be greasy towards you. because he's still unpacking. But let's not let's not misinterpret what I'm saying there. No, he doesn't get to behave greasy. But if he's wounded, let him go ahead and unpack that. Let him take the time it takes. And I never understood, like, growing up, my dad used to do that, but I didn't understand what it was. Now I'm getting a better understanding. My dad and my mom, they had a little argument, right? And then my mom would say her little piece, she would get it all out, and then she would retreat. And then my dad would come back like 20 minutes later, and he's still talking about it. And everybody has to be looking at him like, dude, like, it's over. And he'll come back 20 minutes later, rah, 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 rah. He was doing his little barking. And we be like, okay. Then he'll get quiet. Then like an hour later, he came back barking. So what I'm noticing is that for women, a lot of times we're able to just kind of like have a volcanic eruption of how things bother us. But it seems like for men, there's a processing. They're releasing how they feel, then they think about it some more, and then it triggers something else that they need to release. Then they got to think about it. So if he keeps doing that, just pray for some wisdom and ask your Heavenly Father for some grace and some strength, not to lash out at him. If that's how he's processing, he got to think about it, he got to retreat, and then he got to let a little bit more out. Let him do that. As long as he's not being abusive, as long as he's not coming for you, and it might feel like he's coming for you when he's just expressing how he's feeling in light of things that he's thought about some more, or in light of something that may have been said or done recently that bothers him. Let him go ahead and have his little trickle and create that safety so that he can always come to you and share how things are bothering him. Because what you don't want for him to have to feel like he has to get that safety in another woman. This is Shar with Law for Love, serving our families in wisdom, justice, and truth.